Okay guys, we're going to do homework pages 100 through 101 of your student journal, and we're going to do numbers 1 through 6. And you're going to have a notebook check on Friday and a quiz on Friday. So make sure you're looking back over your translation stuff too. Alright, so let's jump right in. It says in exercise 1 through 4, graph triangle ABC and its image after a reflection in the given line. Or across the given line. All of that means the same thing. So I'm going to restate this in my own words. It wants me to graph this. It wants me to reflect this, and it wants me to do it across or in a particular line. Okay, so first thing I want to do is go through here and graph A, B, and C. That is my pre-image. So this is -1, 1, 2, 3, 4. -1, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need one more space up here. That's 5, so we're going to call that A. And then we're going to get -4 and 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. -4 and 4, that's B. And then we're going to do -3 and 1, and that is C. Alright, so I'm going to connect my dots here for my pre-image. Then I'm going to go here and draw where my line of symmetry belongs. I'm sorry, my line of reflection belongs. And it says given in the line. And here, my line that I need to reflect across is the y-axis. So I'm just going to draw a little dotted line there. Well, I'm going to draw one that's better so it looks better. Give me a sec. Okay, here's my line of reflection that goes here. And I'm going to go in and count. So from A, in order to reflect over this line, then I'm going to go 1. So that means that's one space over. And I'm going to put this in blue. So that means this is A prime. And then for B, I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4. So this becomes 1, 2, 3, and 4. It goes here. This is my B prime. And then here I count 1, 2. So I'm going to call this 1, 2 on this side. And this is my C prime. And I did it. I've performed a reflection across the line of reflection. And I'm calling that L of R. So I don't have to write it all out. And I'm going to go to do the same thing here. And this time it says in the x-axis. So I'm going to go ahead and graph my pre-image. So 0 and 2. This is x, this is y. So 1, 2, 0, 2. And then 4 and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need a space. So I'm going to put 5 here. This is A. This is B, and then C is 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I need one more extra space, 5 and up 2. That will make that C. Connect those dots. And there we go. And this time it says in the x-axis. So I'm going to draw a dotted line right on across the x-axis. And this is my line of reflection. So if I count here, 1, 2. So when I get to this line, I'm going to go down 1, 2. That's my A prime. Okay, and I'm pretty sure you guys probably have figured out some other ways to do this, where you can flip the paper or however you can figure it out. This is just the easiest way I found. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I go 1, 2, 3, 4. And I need one more spot. I'm going to call it right here. Make that 5. That's my B prime. And then here I get 1. So here I'm going to go 1. And there we go. We have our image and our pre-image. So we're finished with that one. So here I'm going to go to 2. 1, 2. Down to -1. And this time it says y equals 1. So let's plot that pre-image first. A, and then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. That's B. And then -1, 1, 2, 3. That's your C. Okay, let's connect those dots to form that triangle. Okay, now this time it says where the line is at y equals 1. So we're going to make this reflection in the given line. So it's at y equals 1 this time. So I'm going to go to the y-axis. That's 0. This is 1. And I'm going to draw that line right across here. And then we're going to count. This is y equals 1. And that's my line of reflection. So I'm just going to count. And I'm going to put this in light blue. So I'm going to count 1, 1, 2, 3. So I go 1, 2, 3. That's my B prime. C, I'm going to go 1, 2, wait. It's right here, sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, and 4. We're missing a spot. Our grid is not big enough. But that's going to be our C prime. And then we're going to go 1, 2. And then here, I'm going to go 1, 2. And that is my A prime. And if you fold across the line, you should notice that this should fit on top of here. My line isn't perfect, so it doesn't look exactly like what it should. But if you fold it back across, it should fit. Okay, the last one, I'm going to go ahead and plot my points. So we get -2, and then 1, 2, 3. That's my A. And then we get -2, and we're going to go down 2. That's my B. And then here we get 0, -2. All right, so the X goes nowhere, and we're going to go to -2 on the Y. That's my C. Okay, shape isn't perfect, but let's go ahead and get that symmetry. And you just draw your lines as straight as you can. It's the ideal I want to make sure you get. And then now this time it says X equals -3. So I'm going to go X equals -3. So I'm going to go over to the X where it's -3 at. 1, 2, 3. There's -3. And I'm going to draw that line of reflection. And then we're going to count. And we're going to end up off the grid some, babies. So if I go here, I'm 1. So here, this is my new B prime. And if here, I get 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. So when I go, it's going to be 1, 2, and looks about 3 here. This is C prime. And then for A is 1. So I'm going to go over 1. And then that is your image. See if I can get my line a little straighter. And these two figures should end up on top of each other. Okay, if you drew your line straight and things like that. Alright, I know there are several ways that you can actually do these reflections, but just make sure you get your line of reflection correct. And remember, I'm just going to do it for example 4. If this is my line of reflection, I'm going to call this line segment RL. Should be perpendicular to line segment A prime. As a matter of fact, it's a perpendicular bisector. That means this line crosses line segment A prime here, and it splits the line into 2 equal pieces, or the line segment into equal pieces. This is a rule you need to make sure you understand, or at least can recognize that is happening in a reflection. And these are perpendicular bisectors. LR is a perpendicular bisector to A prime, B prime, and C prime. Okay, let's see what's next. I think we had 1 through 6 tonight. So let's go look. Yep, so let's get 5 and 6. So it says in exercise 5 and 6, graph the polygon image after reflection in the given line. So this time we have the line Y equals X. Now you're lucky with this because you can draw the line if you want to, but there is a rule for Y equals X that you need to make sure that you memorize. So for Y equals X, all it tells you to do is to switch X and Y. To switch the position of X and Y. So if I look at my A, I'm going to go get my ordered pair. It's 3 and 1. If I do B, it is -1. That was -3 and 1 for A. And for B is -1 and 2. And let me go back to A. A is -3 and 2, not -3 and 1. Okay, fix that. Okay, C is actually -1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4. -1 and 4. And D is -3 and 4. Alright, so all we have to do to get the primes is to switch the position of X and Y. So we get 2, -3. B would be it would be 2 and -1, and that's B prime. C prime would be 4 and -1, and D prime would be 4 and -3. And we're going to go and graph this. And I'm going to show you what that line looks like, what the line Y equals X looks like. It looks like this line right here, just going through the origin. That's your line Y equals X. But there's a rule for this, so all you have to do is just memorize the rule and you'll be in the game. Okay, so I am going to draw the image now. So I'm going to go to 2 and then go down to -3. 1, 2, 3. That's my A prime. Then 2 and -1. That's my B prime. And then I go to 4 and -1. That's my C prime. And then I go to 4 and -3. And that is my D prime. Let me make this B prime look better. I'm sorry, B prime look better. Yep. And then there you go. And you finish. Easy peasy. Done. Alright, so what's the rule here? Is when you have Y equals -X, then you're going to make X and Y negative and switch them. That's the rule. So here I'm going to go ahead and write down my coordinates for my pre-image. A is 0 and A is 1 and 0. You always read the X first. I make those mistakes sometimes too. And B is going to be, a weird one. Okay, is this going by, I just made another mistake. This is going by 2's. This is going by 2's. So guys, make sure you pay attention to your scalings. So I'm wrong on A. You guys probably make that mistake too. Look at your scalings. This is going by 2's. So this is actually 2 and 0. And then B is almost in between. So we're going to say 5, and make sure this is going by 2, 2, 4. Yep. So it's going to say 5 and 3. And then my C is going to be, looks like to be 2 and 5. Alright, so be very careful with your scaling, guys. So A prime would be, make them both negative and switch them. So we're going to get 0, -2. And 0 is neither negative or positive, so you don't change that sign. My B prime, make them both negative and switch them. So we get -3, -5. And then C prime, make them both negative and switch them. So -5 and -2. Now I'm going to go and plot these points. And I'm going to do them in this dark color. Now let me show you what the line Y equals -X looks like. So at least you know what that looks like on the coordinate plane. Here's the line Y equals -X. It just falls the other way. Y equals -X. And I'm going to go ahead and plot my images. So that's 0 and -2. So that means 1. This is -2. So that is A prime. And then we're going to go to -3. So this is 2. This is about -3. And then 2, 3, 4, and 5. It looks like that is about right there. That's B prime. And then -5, so that's about right here, and -2. Oh, I left off the D's. So let me go get my D. This is C prime. So the D for this first point, which I left off, is 1 and 4. So we're going to write 1, comma 4. And then if we go to switch it, it would be -4 and -1. Make the signs negative and switch. And this negative right here should indicate that both should be negative. That's how you can remember that. Okay, let me get it together on the graph now. So -4 and -1. That's my D prime. D prime. Alright. And then we're going to connect the dots. Now, I'm pretty sure you probably found some other little ways to make this do what it do with this trapezoid. But whatever way you decide to do, just make sure you get it correct. But I know this is a guaranteed way for you to get it right. Okay? Make sure you study, guys. Make sure you get your work in your notebook. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.